Ah yes, In Rem, the babbly man who, well, babbles about things he doesn't understand. And because he knows the Earth is flat, now he wants a refund from the evil government for building the ISS, or rather the hoax that is the ISS. Also, he probably doesn't understand what the I stands for. It's international, Mr. In Rem? Mr. Rem? I don't know, we're gonna figure that out during the video. In Rem? Do your thing.
Alright, people. It's time we demand a class action lawsuit against the government in preparation of them showing us actual video footage of the construction of the International Space fake station that they say they have up there.
Ah, well, I guess we're done here, because I'll leave a link in the description to a very neat little video of the construction of the space station over the last 15 years and all the science they have done there, by a channel appropriately called Videos from Space. We're not done here, are we? I know we're not done here, of course we're not done here.
I'm a professional at what I do.
So, you're a professional at dipshittery. Fancy meeting another professional here. Now, we're two professionals in different fields. I am a professional taking the piss guy, but do go on. And for those people out there who don't understand what taking the piss is, it's basically jerking your chain. And some people get a little bit too much into that. But that's a whole other story.
And I know that you guys have all seen that fake PlayStation thing up there they call fucking the International Space Station.
Fucking the International Space Station. I don't know what you're into, but that's not my kind of thing. Is that what he said? He said that, didn't he? Also, International Space Fake Station? That's not even clever.
And all the tangled cords and shit that are all over it.
Oh yes, you're one of those guys who thinks it's all fake, recorded in a bloody green screen room. Get over yourself. Although, the International PlayStation, that was actually clever. Because, you know, it's a playground for astronauts. But that probably went over your head, just like the International Space Station does.
The number of lifts from the space shuttle that would have had to be mandatory for it to be up there.
Which are all documented in all the space agencies across the entire planet. Just for your information, it's not just NASA doing the thing, right? Because NASA is evil. I don't know, I'm just trying to help here. I'm really new at this conspiracy nonsense.
The absolute vacancy of photography or video of the assembly of it, either down here or the erection of it up there.
Except for all the videos and photographs we actually do have and all the documentation by all kinds of people who have worked on the station. Also, that video I just linked in the description at the beginning of this video.
Like I said, I am a lowly man and I did not create the greatest feed in the history of mankind known to date.
Not to alarm you or anything, Mr. Rem, Mr. In... I don't know, Mr. In Rem? Let's just call him Mr. In Rem. There's someone in your house. Now, I hope for you it's someone you know, or, well, it's probably someone he knows. Let's move on.
Of the living mortal.
The what? The living mortal? I have a vague idea of what you mean. Something about being mortal and appreciating mortality and the life you live? But what does that have to do with the PlayStation in space? Oh, for fuck's sake, I said PlayStation. You have me saying it now.
But I post videos of all of my work that I'm involved with, way back to now even.
Huh, okay.
Yet there's no real footage of the International Space Station except for all of a sudden it's up there and showing you curvature of Earth.
It shows you curvature of Earth. You know why? Maybe because the Earth is spherical. You silly man, you. Also, all the bloody footage is definitely out there.
Holy shit, you idiots.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use your own argumentation you're gonna use in a few seconds against you. I have not seen any footage of your construction work, so it doesn't exist. So know what you're gonna do, Mr. In Rem?
It's time we all collaborate together and force the issue of either present the true evidence or we're going after a class action lawsuit against the government.
Exhibit A. In the description, I have linked a video. That's the third time I already said that. It's 15 years of space station science and construction by video from space. Go have a look at that, Mr. In Rem. And there's many more footage out there.
That's what it's coming down to. Because they steal my money. As far as I'm concerned, if that space station ain't up there, they owe me every dime that they ever took from me back.
You do realize that the NASA budget is less than 0.5% of the national budget of the United States of America, right? If that has you triggered on this level, why not have a look at the budget of, I don't know, the military budget of around 16%? Why aren't you all up in arms about that? And contrary to popular belief, I don't do puns.
Because that's deceit in its highest form.
So, let me get this straight. Some random dude recording himself on the internet says every footage that is out there is fake. Well, you didn't actually say that. Did you even search for the footage? Because that would be the first thing you need to do. It's beginning to look a lot like you're just parroting, and that's basically what flurfs do. So, well done.
And that's a government operation doing it to you.
Alright, let me just get that misconception out of the way. NASA, or in other words, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, is an independent agency. They're a civilian space program. They work with the government, but are not part of the government. They basically work on contracts by the government, but that does not mean they are part of the government. So in other words, shut up and stop lying, because I'm really getting sick and tired of you flirts constantly peddling all kinds of lies and misrepresentations and out of context nonsense. If there's one thing that I've learned about you guys is that you are a dishonest and disingenuous people. You might want to stop that.
And you don't get it? Y'all say it doesn't matter? Really? It don't matter that they're just taking your money and presenting you with a false reality? What are your morals and your values to your own self?
Morals and values to your own self, says the man who's lying through his teeth. All the shit you're talking about is one Google click away, so don't act like it isn't there.
You have none? No scruples?
Oh, come on, Mr. In Rem. Are you gonna add more irony to the irony cake here?
You just continue to fund this government, this illegitimate government that was created in the minds of the people that lived before you?
That was created in the minds of people that lived before. What the hell does that even mean? It's called progress. We do stuff right now for the people of the next generations. What are you going on about, mate? You're not going on about anything, are you?
Who in the 1920s, late 20s and early 30s, when the first drivers were taxed with a license?
What does that have to do with the International Space Station? You don't need a driver's license to drive a rocket. It's just a little something like intensive training for astronauts to actually drive a rocket. And you don't drive a rocket, you fly a rocket, I guess, maybe. But hey, that doesn't sound as fun, now does it?
Started issuing driver license tickets to everybody.
Did we switch video mid-video or something? What's going on here?
And they go into court, and the judge would say, driving with no driver license is a day in jail and a $25 fine. The driver license is only $5. What do you want to do? Go get a new driver license and bring it to me and show me that you got it?
What's going on? What? Driver's license? What? So, what the fuck? So, driver's license, the reason we have to have a driver's license is now part of the conspiracy of the government of the United States of America for the International Space Station, which has been built by, around 70 countries or something along those lines? I can't recall right now, but you could Google that. You don't make any sense, Mr. In Rem.
Or do you want to go to a day in jail and a $25 fine?
You want to go in jail for... What are you going on about? Now, if you had a space rocket, you could get away. You know, most police cruisers can't reach those speeds. I don't know, I'm just talking nonsense just as he is right now. Also, what's going on with my artillery crew? Are they having trouble with the cannon since the last video on Jim Lotus? I mean, I can imagine... Oh, hey, there we go. Get out of it, cow!
And rather than the people invoking their freedom and liberty and telling them, fuck you, I'm not part of the system, they academically went down and took the cheaper route out. Just like the plea bargains of today, people don't even realize that if everybody just took their action to court and to the box then the state could not maintain.
So all the stuff you pay to the government in the form of taxation to, build buildings, create railroads, maintain the roads. In this case, we're driving on the road because you're talking about driver's license, because we don't have a road towards the International Space Station, as far as I know. So all of that is somehow part of some kind of system you don't want to be part of, but you still want to use. If you don't want to be part of the system, sell your car and don't drive on the roads anymore. As a matter of fact, don't do anything that has to do with the government anymore. Because they're evil for some reason. But of course, you have to take everything to court, which is also part of the governmental system. So, facepalm please. Wouldn't it be spiffy if they were to start to make sense?
I do go back to myself every now and again and what I stand up for. And it's all created by the flat earth theory and getting people on this spinning ball.
Wait, let's analyze that sentence. It's all created by the flat earth to get people on a spinning ball? Mr. In Rem, could you elaborate? Also, just for reference, theory is not the word you're looking for.
To steal your soul or system, a part of the system.
To steal your soul, but no, we're talking about soul. Well, so flat Earth is now spiritual. The government has a road towards the International Space Station, and you have to pay for your drivers. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with this man. Something about the system of systems, I guess.
They got you in the monetary system, the political system, the education indoctrination system, the fucking system of...
Systems? The system of systems.
It's just system after system, they cram it down your throat.
Well,
And the mortal is part of a cycle, much like the earth and the sun and the moon.
Oh, good God, man.
They all cycle. And you're immortal and you're part of this cycle.
We're part of a system that is part of a cycle because the sun and the moon go around the flat earth and now we're immortal? So there can be only one. Well, let's get to work then.
Of life. I don't know what to do with you people anymore. I really don't.
Oh, the feeling is quite mutual, by the way. Also, I was kidding. Come on, I was kidding. It's a joke. Not a really good one, but still, it's a reference.
I won't never shut my channel down. I'll just keep going on and babbling the way I babble.
Well, you could do some self-reflection and self-improvement instead of babbling on like you, babble on. How about you read up and educate yourself on the subject matter you're talking about? Because right now, everything you're saying is utter horseshit. And I do believe oh, wait. I just, yeah. See, now you got me babbling as well, Mr. In Rem. Crap, this happened with the previous Jim Lotus video as well. I do hope this dipshittery is not contagious.
I know there's the moon and sun, but I don't know if it's flat.
Well, who the fuck was that? And what the fuck did she say? I know there is a moon, but I don't know if it's flat. Well, off-screen person, the moon is quite spherical, as indicated by the bloody shadow that is casting on itself. You know, the moon phases?
I know there's a moon and I know there's a sun and I don't know what they are. I don't know the distances from them.
Oh, no, you're not getting away with that one. You definitely know the distances because we have calculated them. Not to mention they have been proven time and time again. The word you're looking for is not no, the word you're looking for is I don't accept. And that's a few words, but still. It's a good thing reality isn't dependent on your acceptance of it. Now is it, Mr. In Rem and off-screen person?
I do know that the earth is flat. I do know that none of these baltards have ever come up to me and said, okay, Mr. Miner.
Well, Mr. In Rem, Mr. Miner? Mr. Miner, is it your last name or are you a miner? I don't know. Well, I'm open for everything right now. And is it me or is he really annoyed with the person next to him telling him stuff about, flat earth? So you know the earth is flat. Care to prove it? Of course not. Of course not. You know. It's a belief. That's what it is. Nothing more, nothing less.
I accept your challenge. In fact, now you accept it. You got to go 5 weeks down the road because I just bought a new Cobra with the money that I've been holding on and nobody's ever taken the bet.
You bought a new Cobra? And we have to wait for the money And because no one is willing to... Are we in the Twilight Zone here? This man takes gish galloping to a whole new level. What are we going on about now, Mr. In Rem? Also, can you even buy cobras? Where the fuck would you buy a cobra?
So now you'd have to wait 5 weeks to make me the $5,000 I make.
So now we have to wait 5 weeks because you bought a cobra for $5,000. What the fuck kind of cobra is that? Wait a minute. Do you mean the car? What the hell is it called? The Mustang Shelby or something? That's a cobra, right? I don't know. Is he angry because of the driver's license? Did the police take his driver's license? Is that why we're talking about the International Space Station? Because he can't drive his car to the bloody space station?
To be able to cover the bed again. I got tired of nobody doing it, so I went and I bought me a new Cobra Mustang.
So it is the car. Also, well, what do you mean $5,000 bet? Are you one of those flirts who basically has a $5,000 bet to prove the curvature of the Earth? Is that something? That's probably something, right? Is that what you're doing? I don't know if that's what he's doing. It sounds like he's doing that. Somehow. So hey, you got a bigger channel now with lots of viewers who is watching your video. So if anyone out there wants $5,000, go and have a look at In Rem's bet somewhere on his channel. I'm sure it's somewhere there. And I am 100% sure he will never deny any evidence you present, you know? Also, you could put up your pink slip, Mr. In Rem.
It's not a new one, but it's new to me. And it's built to the hilt, and I'm going to detail it out. There's still a few bumps and bruises on it that, not collision-wise, it's perfectly straight. Just that when they put it together, they didn't quite finish the detail on it.
Uh-huh, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm 100% sure your car is not as cool as my car. You know, something tells me the Creaky Blinder is asking for some kind of projectile I could launch. Or in other words, don't tempt me.
That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna use it for my daily driver. Sell a couple of these Mustangs that I got.
Some say he invented how to drive to the moon, and that he can actually gish gallop his way back. All that we know is, it's In Rem!
Yeah, you're so similar.
So, anyway,
what the hell is up with that background noise, mate? So, are we...
That's about where I'm at right here on this video.
Oh, well, alright then.
We do ramen noodles.
Yeah, we eat ramen noodles while the government
Not
employees
you.
all eat steak and eggs and pancakes.
So now you have a wait, what? No! Freaking pancake! Freaking, you gotta be kidding me. The video ends and he just manages to drop a bombshell of silliness there, right at the end. So, I guess we're done here. In Rem, you are a weird man that cannot seem to focus, and you're a flurf. So that's a bad deal there. All that is left to say is welcome to the Order of the Sillies, In Rem. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'm gonna have a smoke while you have your pancake. And no, don't you guys worry, I don't smoke, it's just a reference, you know. Anyway, all you lovelies, thanks for sticking with this pinball machine of track switching. I mean, holy hell. Remember, we have all those ticklish bells, whistles and links to merch, Patreon, Discord and all that jazz. And of course, some other buttons around this video. I bet you do, so go ahead and tickle all of them. You know you want to. Bye-bye. You know, I'm gonna drive my car to the ISS. I'm pretty sure we'll get a speeding ticket though. What an agitated and confused man this In Rem.